5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to DFW Roundtable Podcast, Texas' most powerful and entertaining podcast, bringing you the best and entertaining interviews from the industry's top music entertainers, sports athletes, and much more. So grab a seat and a cold one and watch, listen, and enjoy. And now, here is your host, Ruben Campos.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of DFW Roundtable Podcast. It is truly an honor to have this gentleman present with me. He is the godfather of La Onda Tejana, Mr. David Lee Garza. Mr. Garza, thank you for joining the show, sir.
No, thank you, Ruben. Thank you for the invite. Saludos a todos que se encuentran viéndolos en estos momentos, right? Big hellos all the way from over here from OT, Texas.
That's right. Little Poteet, Texas. Un saludito. Le mandamos, David, as we were talking earlier, queremos mandarle saludos a todos los de Texas, Aguascalientes, México, Monterrey. Pero we've got some new viewers, man, that it's spreading out. Un saludito para todo Colombia. Un saludito para todos allá en Colombia. Sí. Aquí está su servidor, David Lee Garza, y los musicales para todos. Por favor, síganlo en las redes sociales. Y aquí vamos a platicar un poquito más con David sobre su carrera, que es impresionante. David, primero que nada, man, let's talk a little bit about career, sir. I know I mentioned how you have been given the name, the honor of being named the Godfather. But after we're us talking, man, and you telling me, 52 years of service, sir, you've dedicated to La Onda Tejana, man. That is quite a bit, sir. Talk to me a little bit about that. How's it been for you? How's the transition been, David, throughout these decades, man?
It's been interesting. It's been an interesting career. Empezamos back in 1968. Myself and my dad and my brother Adam. We started a band that se llamaba David Lee Garza y su conjunto. You know, because my dad played with other guys and other bands, and we'd always have trouble with musicians. You know, no había el bass player, no podía ir el cantante or whatever, ¿verdad? So we decided to make our own band. Y dijo Dad, you know what? Porque entonces se llamaba Tony Garza y su conjunto, my dad's name. Okay. And dijo mi papá, ¿sabes qué? Vamos a empezar un conjunto nuevo, and we're going to put your name because I was all of 12, 13 years old cuando empezamos a tocar aquí alrededor. So lo que dijo, se va a llamar David Lee Garza y su conjunto. So we did that for about 10 years. 10 años anduvimos tocando aquí, allá, bodas, quinceañeras, backyard parties. And then 10 years later, los tocó la oportunidad de abrir un show para Roberto Pulido Los Clásicos, mi compadre. And he heard us and he said, you know what? Have you all ever been to Houston? And it was, no, we're just a local band aquí nomás local. Y dijo, pues lo voy a llevar para Houston, para allá, para el Valle. De ahí nos fuimos para atrás, para la casa, ¿verdad? Y decidimos ir para Corpus. Y el primer álbum que grabamos era Cuatro Caminos con Hacienda Records.
I remember that.
Ahí empezó la carrera de los musicales.
Yeah. Yep, I clearly remember that, man. Y de veras que pegó bastante duro esa rolita, Cuatro Caminos. And as they say, the rest is history, ¿verdad? 52 years, man.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Oye, but through the processes, David, of course, as we all know, you've managed to stay afloat and lead the pathway for La Onda Tejana with different vocalists. You know, you're credited for launching several, individual careers of very successful Tejano stars, Emilio, Jay, Marcos, and the list goes on, ¿verdad? Now, throughout these years, David, a lot of albums, ¿verdad? And different companies as well, including Capitol and so forth. You've had some collaborations and some great music with, including A.B. Quintanilla, and so forth that you've worked with, sir.
Right.
What would you say out of all the albums, David? If I had to say, hey, can you pick? Do you have a favorite one, or is it really hard to pick just one? Would you say?
De los musicales, I think what turned it all around was the 1392 and Con el Tiempo albums. You know, when
Yes.
Jay came in the band, you know, that gave us a boost, a little bit more boost, you know, because los otros cantantes, they're all great. They're all great, and they have their own style and everything. Pero when we did the song, or the album with Jay Perez, 1392 y Con el Tiempo, that really opened a lot of doors. As a matter of fact, one day Joe Lopez and Jimmy told me, "Hey, now y'all are competition. You know, before y'all were just an opening band. Ahora son competencia." You know, no, I don't see it that way. You know, we're just doing
I'll
what we
be
love to do.
I'll be honest with that. That's my favorite album también. 1392. It's loaded, man. Loaded, loaded, loaded. Every track you had in that album was just powerhouse, man. A lot of great songs in that album.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oye, también during that time, of course, I had overheard an interview you did, of course, but en paz descanse Emilio, ¿verdad? When Emilio came to your band, how young was Emilio, man, when you started him there with Los Musicales?
Emilio was también como 19, 20 years old. He was real young. Yeah.
And if memory serves me right, man, through this interview, Emilio had been trying to get on, ¿verdad? He would go to your practices and so forth and say, "Hey, we need a singer." Aquí está. Is that true?
Yeah. He after Ram left, we were there like, okay, who's gonna sing next? Who's gonna be next? Y empezamos a buscar cantantes. Y Emilio came to my door, you know, and told me, "Hey, Ram dijo que necesitaban un cantante." So that really didn't set good with me, you know. Dile a Ram que no se apure. Nosotros no vamos a hallar un cantante. And he kept, you know, terco. You know, he came back again. We had a practice. We were trying out some guys, and we had a practice here in una bodega aquí en Potit de la Miller Lite, de la cervecería. And pues tiene las big doors, you know, and dentro las trocas. And we heard, after we finished trying out one guy, estaba alguien sonando en la puerta. Y abrimos la puerta esa grande, pues no estaba Emilio ahí. Y le dije a mi papá, I told my dad and my brothers, este guy vino para la casa, dijo que Ram lo mandó, pero, you know, dijo que he wanted to try out, that he knows all our songs. Y pues dijimos, bueno, pues, vamos a darle let's give him a tryout, you know. Y empezó a cantar y, I don't know, you know, he sounded so much like Ram that we said, you know what, let's run with this guy. Porque, you know, of course it's a setback when a singer leaves the band.
Absolutely. Yes.
It's a little setback, you know, by the time you get going again, and the people, los fans, we experienced that, you know, cuando se fue Ram, muchos dejaron de ir a los bailes míos, but we picked up a lot of new fans, you know, with a new singer. So that's the way it was with every singer. A guy would leave, and we pick up new fans, you know, with the new singers.
You know, interesting part you mentioned, Dave, that I was going to ask you too, David, about that was that you mentioned, and it's true. When you hear Emilio's voice on that first album you did with him,
On the first one, yes.
se oye igualito que Ram. It's like at times it's like it's very hard to distinguish, you know, if it's not Ram or not. Pero luego, as you transition to the next one, you could tell he became Emilio, like his own identity.
Right,
and
right.
So it was really interesting to see that transition. But one of the things I've always scratched my head and applaud you for, you know, for this, because you've been able to transition, you know, through vocalist and adapt and create, como dices tú, and create more fans. The fan base keeps growing.
Right.
But how difficult is it? I know it's very difficult, in fact, to adapt to a new singer, pero musically, David, para hallar el estilo del cantante ese, ¿verdad? Y la música también, ¿verdad? What goes through your head, David, when you've got a new musician? Is it the voice, or how does all it come into play, man? Because this is all intriguing, man. Very interesting.
Right, well, I mean, cuando entra un cantante con los musicales, yo les digo primeramente, no quiero que te oigas como te oía Ram o Jay o Marcos. Yo quiero oír la voz tuya, como es tu voz. Y la música aquí la tenemos. Nosotros vamos a tocar la canción que grabamos y tú nomás la cantas. So, yeah, he has to adapt to us, and we have to adapt to the vocalist también. So it's a little challenging, pero we do it, and it works. And so far, it's been working.
It's absolutely, sir. And again, hats off, because it's purely the only way I could describe it. Purely genius from a musical creation standpoint. How the music adapts very well to each singer. Cuando trabas a Marcos, that's still when you hear that era, it's very different from Emilio, very different from Ram.
Right.
So los musicales adapted to that voice, verdad, and everything else. But
Right.
it's been a tremendous transition after each singer, and then of course now you have Cesar, and the music suits him perfectly as well, man. Yeah, hats off to you guys. Who's in charge of like the music direction of the band, David? Is it a whole band coalition, or is that go through you? How does that go?
I bring the songs to the rehearsals. I bring the song and I tell them I think this is a good song for us. And a lot of times they won't agree. The rest of my brothers and the band members, I don't like that song. And of course Cesar has to feel it también, el cantante, porque si no siente la canción, pues it's not going to come out right. So I bring the songs in material, and I tell them, hey, if you have a song that you want to record, bring it. No, hombre, llegan al practice y nobody has nothing. So I have to come up with all the material from songwriters and old songs that we bring back.
Oh, that's good, sir. Concerts, man, throughout these decades, you've played with a lot of people, man. Mas, Mafia, you name it, Kevin Fowler, even country.
Right.
If I was to ask you, David, your most memorable concert that you've played in or played at, what would you say that would be?
I think it would be the reunion that we had in Houston at the Astrodome.
Yeah.
That reunion that was a memory that stays with us forever. My dad got up on stage to play. My dad had retired from playing, but when we did the reunion, we brought him on when Ram was singing, and then when Emilio sang también, and then after that, pues Billy O'Rourke took over the vowel. So my dad stepped off the stage, but that has to be the most memorable because there were so many people there, and for a while we were playing and we couldn't hear the people, and we were saying, I thought in my head, I wonder if they're listening or is it coming out right or not. And then we switched to another song, and there was a big roar. So I said, okay, they're there. The people are there. They were just, having a good time listening. And when you change songs, they like them, so they let you know that they like that song.
Oye, and was that captured on video by any chance, David?
Yeah, there's a video out there somewhere. I want to say they gave me a copy, but it was never put out anywhere.
Man, imagine if that would have been recorded at the entire concert.
Right.
That is good as gold right now. That's a very memorable concert right there.
Yes, sir.
Oye, and speaking of which, you mentioned another one that I had on my list to ask you. Reunion, you mentioned there. Any thoughts, David, as you get closer to... se está rimando el double nickel, los 55. Any thoughts on possibly another reunion in the future?
Well, it would have to be something like a big rodeo or something, because something of this magnitude, so many singers, and it's real costly,
I agree. Something like a Houston Livestock Rodeo or San Antonio Rodeo would be perfect for it. And I know the people would be definitely hungry for it, but it needs to be a stage that big, and I think it definitely calls for it, man. Acordeones. Man, I've seen some beauties throughout the years, man. Some have made your album covers. You've had some beauties, David, throughout your career.
Right.
¿A cuál es tu favorita?
It has to be the one I have right now. It's a black Honer chromatic accordion, and it thanks to Gilbert Reyes from Honer. He had it made for me in Italy, personalized. They said DLG on it, and it's compact, but it's heavy. It's still heavy. Dije Gilbert, ¿que le hicieron de cemento o qué? Porque está pesada. But no, the material, all the materials is the best. The voices, the reeds are the best también. So my favorite accordion has to be that one.
Yeah, and speaking of heavy, I know the Honers are a little bit more compact, ¿verdad? I mean,
Right.
No está tan pesadas, ¿verdad? Pero,
Right.
man, you've had some beauties. I think one of my favorites was the Coors Light one you had también.
Coors
you had
Light,
a beautiful,
It was
yes,
a purple color accordion, yeah.
Yes, sir. And then, I mean, como digo, throughout the years, man, you've had some beauties, but I do notice that you wear that black one more often than anything which is that Hunter.
Yeah, pretty much at the time the sponsors would come in, the beer sponsors. Miller Lite. I had some Coors Light accordions, Miller Lite accordions, and then what was the last one? The Justin boots. We had a contract.
Oh
with
yeah.
them, and we go negotiate. And le dije yo a Joey, tell them that I need 3 accordions, and we'll put their logo on them. And we tell them, and they were like, "You can do that?" And I said, "Yeah." So that was our deal there with the beer companies and with the Justin boots. So that's why I got like those 9 accordions.
That is awesome, man. That is awesome. And that's when Tejano was booming, man. Back in the 90s, ¿verdad?
Right.
When major sponsorships were coming in, Wrangler,
Yes,
Justin Boots, you mentioned the beer companies and so forth.
Right.
Otra cosa que te iba a preguntar, David, que I know we felt the shock, ¿verdad? Pero más que nada, somebody like yourself that was in the industry during this time and when it was peaking out, how much of an impact do you think Selena's death had to Tejano music at the time it happened, brother?
Oh, major, man. She was so young and very talented, I remember we were going to play in Laredo that night. Well, we amanecimos en Laredo from the valley. The news came out, that Selena had been shot. And we were supposed to play in Laredo that night, and out of respect, we just couldn't. We told the promoter we can't do it. And he era un americano, and he was, come on, you can do it. I mean, the people out there were waiting for you in Laredo. I understand that, pero era algo que pasó y out of respect, we said we're not going to play. So we didn't play that night. Pero yeah, major impact en toda la onda. They put a damper on a lot of clubs, a lot of people that they just felt so bad.
I agree. It was kind of like a shockwave throughout the the entire industry and fan base. And I know it took a little bit to rebound from there. Y todavía, I think that when we talk about it, it still feels like it hasn't been that long. You've had the privilege to work with her, no? You ended up doing a track with her or multiple tracks?
Grabamos con ella, grabamos 2 or 3 songs with her on different albums, ¿verdad? Got invited to, and me and myself and my brother Adam on the drums and my dad on the bajo sexto. And of course, AB didn't want to give up the bass, so he played the bass.
Of course. La que first comes to mind, no sé, I'm thinking it's you because of the accordion. Ven Conmigo. Was that you on accordion?
Ven Conmigo. Right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, very distinctive sound. You could tell that's you on accordion. And that song, to this day, you could hear it anywhere you go, man. Anywhere there's a live band, there's a female singing, they're gonna play that song.
Right.
It's been iconic, David. How about collaborations, man? Most memorable one that you've had, or that you really, que digas tú, man, this is probably one that really stands out for me that I've been able to collab with.
Yeah, the ones I did with Maz, with Jimmy and Joe. Beautiful Maz, number 16, the album number 16, Decídete. That was the very first song that Maz had an accordion in, playing in the band, in a recording, actually. And then after that, he went in and he had found an accordion player, Frankie Caballero, and several other guys came in through their band. Pero they added an accordion after I did some recordings with them.
Wow. Man. Well, that has been quite of a history lesson for me, man. I didn't know that. That is something new. I know the album, but at least now I know that's you.
Right. Yeah, then I did several with David Mares and Joe Posada, and the list goes on. Here lately, on Freddie Records, I did a couple of songs with Pio Treviño, Magic.
Oh wow!
I never thought I'd record a song with Magic, with Pio, but I did, and with him, and of course with Jay Perez with his band, I got the call to go do a song or 2 songs on his CD, and I went to Freddie Records, actually recorded it over there, and that was before we signed on. Before we signed on with Freddie.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Which was going to be you just led to my next segment, man.
Okay.
We're getting into the now. So, vamos platicando un poquito de esto, David. Primeramente que nada, un saludito a toda la familia Martínez, back home, Freddie Records. So,
Yes, sir.
David, I was surprised by the news, but then excited when I heard that you had signed with Freddie. I saw the press conference come out. And then me and Mark spoke, and it's like, man, that's fantastic, man. Fits perfectly. So first and foremost, congratulations, sir, on that.
Thank you, gracias.
Felicidades.
Thank you.
But that being said, you went straight into the studio, did some work, and you have a new single out, Atormentado.
Atormentado.
So talk to me a little about that, David. Talk to me about the song. What can you tell me about it?
And well, it's a song that was recorded way back in the 70s, I believe, by a friend of mine, a friend of ours, in paz descanse, Danny Yanes y Los Chavos. They were from the Valley. So his son reached out to me and said, my dad recorded this song in 70-something, early 70s. And he says, if you record it now, I know you can do justice to it. And like, nobody's ever heard it, or, the young generation, of course, to them it's going to be new. So he sent me the song, and I listened to it, and I sent it to Cesar, and Cesar said, I like it, man, yeah. So we went in the studio and recorded that, and actually we were done the whole studio, the whole album already, this whole CD. It's finished, and we're looking probably at a release date in about a month from now.
Got it. Oye, David, y como dices, you already had some songs laid down. How did you guys come to the conclusion that this is going to be your first single out, man?
We listened to it. Freddie and I listened to it, and my brothers and Cesar también, ¿verdad? And we said, I think this is going to be the single. And Freddie liked it too. I sat down there with him, and he listened to the whole album, and we decided that Atormentado, it's puro musical style, so we ran with that.
I was about to tell you, man, felicidades on that, because the minute it kicks off, man, you hear that keyboard, it's Tejano to the max. It's musicales. You could tell when it kicks off and then the accordion comes in, there's no doubt it's DOG, musicales, but it's that authentic Tejano sound, man. So it's like, oh man, this is really good sounding. And then Cesar did an amazing job with the vocals también, so very well done, sir. El album, do you have a name for the album just yet?
Atormentado.
Así se va a llamar el álbum.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, Freddy, you know what? We've been throwing around some names and this and that, pero Atormentado, it seems that, it's about that song. Porque the song says, me estás atormentando. And Freddie had a question on that. He said, Cesar is saying atormentando, but the song is named Atormentado. Yeah, I talked to Danny Yanes, Yanes Jr., and me explicó, digo, no, that's the name of the song es Atormentado, because it's just a storyline.
Gotcha.
En el que está atormentado el que está cantando. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oye, David, so throughout these years, man, you've been independent, now with Freddie. Tell me, how's it been like, man, so far? Of course, Freddie has a track record, man, of producing and putting out, I can already tell you that this I'll make the prediction right now. This has potential for Grammy, brother. ¿Cómo ves? But how's the transition been for you?
It was kind of easy, Freddie and I, Freddie Jr., we talked about 2 years ago at the Tejano Convention in Las Vegas. Y ahí los encontramos ahí cada vez, and every time, Freddie, ya cuando se pase todo este convention y todo, we get back home, let's sit down and talk, man. Maybe we can do something. So that was 2 years ago. And then this past time, before we went to the convention, I went and recorded some tracks for Jay Perez, actually, for Jay Perez's new album. And Freddie said, you got time to talk? And I said, yeah, and we went up to his office and everything. And I told him, it took you long enough. You told me 2 years ago, vamos a hablar. Yeah, vamos a hablar, okay. But 2 years later, but we're ready, man. We're here. And I would talk to my brothers, and we decided to give it a shot. When the very first album that we recorded was in Corpus at Hacienda. Now we're back in Corpus with Freddie Records.
That's right, man. Isn't that something else? Wow. Well, good deal, man. We're looking forward to it. Oye, so I'm thinking that the single's already out on all digital platforms.
It's gonna be on August the 15th. August the
August
15th.
15th.
El día 15 de agosto.
Ahí lo oyeron. El día 15 de agosto sale el nuevo single de David Lee Garza y los musicales en todas las plataformas digitales. Bájenlo, súbelo. Y lo que es Spotify, y lo que es iTunes, all of them, ahí las consiguen. So, yep. So August 15th. Have you guys worked on a video, or will there be a video coming after this?
There's going to be a video. There's going to be a video on that one, and we talked about doing about 3 more videos off the new CD, the new
Nice.
different songs. ¿Verdad? We don't know which song just yet, but the next single we're going to do a video on that. So okay, that's something that we lacked. We were independent. We had the DLG Records, and yeah, we do a video, but we just do one video. Pero Freddie said, no, we're gonna put you out there, and it's a good thing. So we're gonna be doing like 3 or 4 videos off this new album.
That's huge, man. As we all know, that's huge. Pero as we all know también, when you're independent, man, el costo, the cost the cost of the studio plus cost of that is pretty hefty. But it's nice to have a company like this that can give you, because the video helps so much more to push out, especially in social media and so forth. Yeah, that's awesome. Oye, so one more thing, man, that you got coming besides an album. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time you headline a Tejano cruise yourself. You have a Tejano country cruise that is coming at the beginning of the year, ¿verdad? What can you tell me about it, man?
Yeah, man, we're excited. We did other cruises with Gary and with other people, and this year we decided let's give it a shot. Let's do the David Lee Garza Los Musicales Tejano and Country Tour cruise. So lo que we're excited is going to be in January the 24th, I believe, the 2026, el próximo año, ¿verdad? So lo que we're not that far away, ya están vendiendo los cabins ya y todo, and that's going to be exciting. We got the Delta Boys on with the Musicales, Mario Flores and the Soda Creek Band. He's the country, and Gabe Garcia is going to sing there too. Mark Ledesma and Lisa are going to sing with us on that también. So lo que there's going to be plenty of Tejano conjunto music and country music.
That is awesome, man. That is awesome. Y si no te he equivocado, that one is heading to Cozumel. There's one more stop, ¿verdad? Costa Maya. Yep. Oye, pues hay que sacar los bikinis, ¿no? Porque se va a poner bueno.
Hay que ponerlos en shape.
Oye, David, and to book a cabin, man, what all they got to do?
Just call Tina Gonzalez. Tina Gonzalez. Okay. I don't have the phone number right in front of me, but Tina's number, 214-817-5546, something like that. Or I don't have the number right in front of me.
No te apures. What we could do is we can flash it up right here.
Flash it on there, okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Tina Gonzalez is handling our cruise, and of course a lot of people call Joey my manager, so Joey directs them to Tina también.
Okay, and I believe the website is TejanoCountryEvents.net.
That's right.
Yes, sir. So they can go. Yeah. Yep, for more information. I think they can find all the cabin information. In fact, you can even do a registration on there, and then Tina will call you back and get you booked up. Oye, so mucha comida, ¿verdad? Porque en el cruise, man, that's all you eat. Las maquinitas in the casino, mucha comida, pero la música va a estar buena, because it's going to be a little bit of Tejano country, y luego some beach time ahead. Anything else you'd like to share about the cruise, man?
Just want to invite everybody that if you're not on yet, we've got lots and lots of friends that are coming on, that are on board already, pero if you're just hearing about it, la primera vez que escuchas y quieres ir al cruise, please log into the website or call Tina Gonzalez and get some more information and get on it, because it's going to be a fun one.
See, David, I do want to make sure and tell everybody, because I've had a couple messages, direct messages, through Facebook and Messenger, asking me if I know whether there's still room. There is still room. Call and get yourself booked up before they are gone. You don't want to miss out.
Right,
Yeah, the other thing that about the cruises is that the longer you wait, the higher the chances of the pricing go up
The
a
price
little
might
bit.
go up,
So,
yes. And you don't need a passport. I mean, a lot of people también nos preguntan, do you need a passport? You actually don't need a passport to go on our cruise.
that's right. I think a certified copy of their birth certificate is all they need, man.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yep. So, lo más bueno es que, in fact, I was in the last cruise with you and Gary and those. The best thing about this time, as you know, when we boarded in Galveston, man, estaba frío.
Estaba
Pero
frío, yeah.
after a day we hit the ocean, man, the sun starts coming out. Then you get over to Cozumel or Costa Maya, man. It's like the shorts come out, papa.
Sí, es verdad, ya no. Y cuando regresamos para atrás estaba frío.
Exactly.
We got back from that cruise, yeah.
Exactly.
Ahí andamos buscando las chaquetas, los chamarras y todo.
Well, David, muchísimas gracias. It's been truly a pleasure to have you on, man. Felicidades again on your new single, on your new album. Le mandamos un saludito a Joey también, J-Rod,
J-Rod.
out there. Yes, sir. Saluditos a Joey también allá. Pero truly a pleasure to have you on, man. ¿No le quieres mandar shout-outs a nadie, David, or anything else before we conclude, sir?
Well, all the fans, I want to tell you, all the fans that follow us, that have been following us, and the new fans también, ¿verdad? We always, every week that we play, we always have people que vienen y dicen, nunca los he escuchado en persona. Tengo los discos, pero no, y son fans de ellos también. Entonces, lo que quiero darles gracias a ellos por siempre apoyarnos de parte de David Garza y todas las musicales, la familia Garza. Thank you so much, and also to Freddie Jr. and the whole crew there at Freddie Records. Thank you so much for bringing us on board. I think it's going to be good, and we look forward to many more years of putting out some good music.
Claro que sí, sir. Y si Dios quiere, ahí lo vemos en el cruise. I'm planning on taking the podcast live on the cruise. We're going to be doing some backstage interviews and also going live out there to give the people back home that couldn't make it some good views and some good feedback on the cruise, make you part of it as well, make it pretty special for you. Otra cosita, David, gigs. Here, any gigs coming up anytime soon that if they happen to be around town, they can go check out los musicales?
Well, esta próxima semana, fin de semana, estamos en Laredo, ¿verdad? El viernes, el sábado vamos para Monterrey, Nuevo León. Para Monterrey, en el General Center, el sábado por la noche, allá en Monterrey. And then we come back, regresamos y vamos a hacer el video. Nomás regresando para atrás, vamos a hacer el video para la canción nueva, Atormentado. And just keep on playing, just keep on touring here around Texas y salimos para New Mexico, Arizona también. Apenas llegamos de Las Vegas. Estuvimos en Las Vegas around the convention, so that's all we plan to do, keep on trucking, keep on playing la música y haciendo a toda la gente feliz con la música y los musicales.
Claro que sí. Un saludito a todos los de Monterrey. Tenemos viewers allá de Monterrey, todos los de Apodaca, all the way around Monterrey. Muchísimas gracias por sintonizarse. Les pido que sigan a David y los musicales. Y ya saben, el 15 de agosto sale el sencillo nuevo. Va a estar disponible en todas las plataformas digitales. David, muchísimas gracias otra vez, brother. Tenga buenas noches. Dios lo bendiga.
Gracias también.
Look forward to seeing you on the cruise, brother.
Darle la oportunidad de venir a saludar a todos. Gracias.
Claro que sí, sir. Truly an honor. Se me cuidan. Adiós.
Ándale, gracias.